Teacher Talking Sports, what does, what do, how we live. And if you're an NHL fan, you're well aware of the drought that Canada is going through in having one of their teams win the Stanley Cup. It hasn't happened for a team based in Canada since 1993 when the Montreal Canadiens won it all. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers basically owned the late 1980s, but the past 2 years they've made the Stanley Cup but fell both times to the Florida Panthers. And not all, but part of the reason is because of inconsistent goaltending, whether it's Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard. Neither has been a guy that you could truly count on, and both of the last 2 years they've been outplayed by Sergei Bobrovsky. So the Oilers made a move today, trading for, if you're not sure who the Mammoth are, if you're a casual hockey fan, the Utah Mammoth. Of course, formerly the Coyotes. Last year were Utah Hockey Club. So Oilers trade for Mammoth's Connor Ingram with focus on net. Future considerations, the team announced Wednesday. He'd actually been placed on waiver September 17th after informing he no longer fit into their goaltending plans for the season. You see, was expected to be the primary starter, was put into the NHL's player assistance program following his mother's death from breast cancer. Previously entered the assistance program in 2021 for treatment of depression and OCD while playing with the Nashville Predators. So we take a look at his numbers. I believe he's 28. Yes, he's 28 years old. So, again, did not get to play much last year's breakout year was that 2023-24 season, the last season that they were known as the Arizona Coyotes. Actually had 6 shutouts that year, so you really can't base much on last season due to the fact that he didn't really get to play all that much. But we take a look at the Oilers goalies. So first starting with Calvin Pickard, and these are their stats in the playoffs. So remarkably, he went 7-1, and that's despite only having a quality start in 2 of his 7 starts. 886 save percentage. So a guy who definitely hasn't been consistent, only played a little bit the previous year in the playoffs. And then Stuart Skinner, who's, I believe Pickard is 33. Yes, he's 33. Skinner is 26 and turns 27 November 1st, so basically right after the season starts. You see his playoffs, 40% of his starts last year were quality starts. He did have 3 shutouts, but, that just shows his inconsistency because he still had less than a 900 save percentage in last year's playoffs, almost a 3 goals against average. So, yes, the Edmonton Oilers on the precipice of winning the Stanley Cup. Of course, have 2 otherworldly players in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, but just have not been able to beat the Florida Panthers. And, eventually McDavid is expected to sign an extension, but probably got a little more expensive with Kirill Kaprizov signing for $17 million a year. You would think that McDavid would expect more than that. But what are your thoughts? Can Connor Ingram play a role for the Edmonton Oilers this year? Can you see a chance for him to be their primary goalie? Of course, you could say it's a little risky because, he's had some off the ice issues, not even talking about his mother's death. I mean, that's completely understandable. And, mental health, definitely something you don't want to mess with. But, they definitely need to have that goalie they could count on a nightly basis. And, Skinner and Picard have had their moments, but just haven't been able to be that guy on a regular basis. But anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.